What's it called again? Dear Lesbians.
Dear Lesbians, yeah.
Okay, can we do this, all three of us? Or is it weird?
He's gonna get annoyed like 2 seconds in. I can feel it.
But is it adorable though? Go on in.
It's pretty cute. Hi, cuties. Hi.
Oh.
Hi, guys. Hi, guys. I hate starting. This is like my
No, you're a good lesson. We did one and
I
done.
know. Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Steph.
And today we are doing another episode of Dear Lesbians.
I belong to you.
Yeah, we're the lesbians. Like,
We're
dear
the
us.
lesbians.
People write us letters and we are the lesbians.
What are we gonna do? This is episode 2.
You want to just start? Do you want to?
Episode 2.
Do you want to read the first one?
Sure, it's super short.
When we did this last time, we got so many friggin' emails.
It was actually really fun.
And people seem really interested in hearing other people's stories.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I do want to clarify, my email is this. I'll write it down here, and then I'll also put it in the description that you can send, and I'll put yours in there as well.
Okay.
So if you want to send one but they go to the same place anyway. So because I think there were a few that was like they left out a little part of my email and it went to someone else, and they were super sweet and forwarded it to me.
Yeah.
But just if you want to like keep anything private and you want to keep your emails private, make sure it goes to this email that I put in the description box. Story number 1.
Number 1. I've liked girls in some capacity since I was 14. I had my first girlfriend during the summer after high school, leading into my first semester of college. Okay. I told my parents about it and they completely rejected me and didn't speak to me for 6 months until her and I broke up. Shortly after our breakup, I met a guy at school, fell in love in the genuine sense, not a this'll do type of love, and thought I found my soulmate. So of course I'm like, great, my parents are back in my life and I don't need to worry about them dealing with those feelings I have for women anymore. My boyfriend and I dated for 5.5 years and unfortunately broke up about 4 months ago. Now I'm in a figurative crossroads, trying to figure out if I should explore my interest in women further at risk of losing my parents in my life again if someone were ever to get serious, or if I should just try and find another guy I'm attracted to connect with as much as I did with my ex-boyfriend. If I'm being entirely honest with myself, I'm probably more easily attracted to women, but know from experience that I'm able to find connection with a guy too. The latter would be certainly easier, but I also know I'd be being disingenuous to my whole self if I went with that option. But the former has so many risks to consider, including coming out to all my friends, no one knows, and of course potentially losing my parents in my life again.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm like, it's amazing that they were like, okay, we fully accept you now that you're with a guy, but at the same time, even if you end up with a guy, it doesn't change your sexuality. So
right.
It's kind of something that you might want them to accept about you, no matter who you end up with, or no matter how straight you might look, just because you're in a straight relationship. But at the same time, I mean, there are a lot of benefits to being in a straight relationship, especially if you can be equally in love with a man as you can with a woman. I think where it gets a little tricky is that you can't really help who you fall in love with and who you meet. Mm-hmm. So if exploring your relationship with women is something you really want to do, I think you should do it. I think you should definitely do it, even if I'm looking at you to see if you agree.
I'm just waiting because I have an opinion on this. Yeah. 100%.
But I also think if you meet a guy again and you fall in love with him, then that's amazing too. But that still might be, you still might want to have a conversation with your parents and be like, look, like just because I'm with whoever doesn't mean that I'm straight. And I don't know, for all, like maybe you're going to have kids and one of your kids is going to be gay, and then that's something that your parents are going to have to face then. And so it's like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like you want to educate your parents whether you're in a gay relationship, in like a same-sex relationship or not.
I think you need to go into it with not the concern about what's next. I think you need to just live your life, and whoever you do fall in love with is who you fall in love with, and then approach it then. I think you're gonna be so overwhelmed, and so you won't even be able to probably have a relationship with either if you just don't allow yourself to just like do you and not be so worried about what's gonna happen after the fact. Because
she was asking though, she's like, should I explore these feelings that I think that I have for women? Like, should she actively look?
Yeah, I think you should do both. I think you should totally be open to girls and guys at this point, and not be, because obviously it sounds like
to it. Like, should she actively seek out?
If you meet a woman that you're super into, go for it.
But not if you meet one. Like, should she like go on Tinder and say looking for women?
I think you should go on Tinder and say looking for men and women at this point.
Love is just so hard to come by in any way. So it's like to limit yourself and be like, I think I'm just gonna look at dating men because it's gonna make it easier for my parents is definitely not fair to yourself.
No.
So do whatever.
I feel stressed out for you because I feel like you're
I feel like you're mad.
No, I'm not mad. I feel stressed for her because I feel like she needs.
You feel strongly about this.
Yeah, because I just feel like you need to just date whoever you want to date. I think is the biggest thing. I think it really upsets when people are like, well, I should just do this, you know, just date whoever you want to date.
Well, I know, like, pleasing your parents is always a difficult thing. Like, I know people from different religions who are like, oh, my parents would die if I dated someone who was Jewish, or if I dated someone who was whatever. And it's like, but if you don't care about any of these things, it's really not up to your parents who you date at the end of the day. It's like race, religion,
yeah, it totally doesn't
gender, anything. So, okay.
I feel very strongly about that.
Yeah. So yeah, don't worry about stuff before it happens. So if you do find women, then you can kind of deal with that whole thing with your friends and your family when you get there.
That's how I feel. Like, it's like, why stress about something that hasn't even happened yet, or you don't know how people are going to react to.
You know how it is. Everyone would do the same thing.
I know, but I feel I'm like, just like, you gotta just worry about yourself at this point.
Dear Kristen, Steph, I've been having this problem for a while now, and I know that you guys always say that you're not professional advice givers, but I feel like sharing and maybe even getting a little response would help. Okay, so here it goes. Although I kind of already know that there's no good ending to my situation. That's not a very good way to start, but we'll see. So I started a new job in October and thus got a couple of new coworkers, including a very pretty lady. Okay, here we go. All right. We don't work in the same field exactly. I work in a hospital. So we saw each other for like 10 minutes a day max. But as time went by, we really got to know each other and we get along so well, it's insane. We have so much fun whenever we talk, and we trust each other with all the personal stuff. She shares stories with me that she doesn't share with any other coworkers, and always stops her work to talk whenever she sees me.
That's nice.
Not only do we talk a lot, she's also very physical. Like, she constantly touches me and hugs me whenever she sees me. She's super flirty and always makes certain comments.
What kind of comments?
I wish she told me that. It doesn't say. Then 3 weeks ago, I finally followed her on Instagram. I was super anxious. It would be weird because maybe she just thinks we're just work friends. But she followed me back, and it was all the same when we talked in person. Anyway, I found out she has a boyfriend. And it's honestly breaking my damn heart every time she mentions him. I know I'm probably making things up in my mind, but she's honestly super affectionate and always so happy when we see each other. And knowing she's in a happy relationship and there will never be more than friendship between us is hard to accept. Also, the fact that I changed units at work a couple of weeks ago isn't helping, because now I only see her when we accidentally run into each other, and that isn't often. I now miss her when I see her, and when I see her, I'm heartbroken because the feelings rush back instantly. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I think when someone's in a relationship, am I hurting you?
No. I was just sitting up.
Yeah, I just think that you kind of have to leave it alone.
Yeah, unfortunately, I feel the same way. You just don't want to be that person, and I feel like the relationship kind of has to run its course. And as much as it's hard, and like obviously maybe she shouldn't. It sounds like maybe she shouldn't be making comments or flirting as much with you.
Some people just are flirty though, and it sucks, especially if you have feelings. But I don't think that just like flirty touching or hugging you, and some people are just really affectionate. So if she does have a boyfriend, whether she does have a little bit of like a crush on you or whatever, I think that you're just gonna get hurt in the end, or someone will. So I think you gotta like wait it out. Maybe like, keep it in the back of your mind in case you hear that they broke up, and then you can I feel like it's good that she's been moved units, so you can kind of move on.
I feel like her comment saying there's no good ending to this actually is probably very true on this.
There could be. Yeah, I just think right now there's nothing for you to do.
She's not Mrs. Right now.
Yeah. Right.
She could be Mrs. Right.
Yeah, but I don't want to give that hope, but it's like,
but you kind of are when you're saying, lean in.
No.
Never know.
No, I mean, like, move on.
Yeah, totally.
You'll find someone else who doesn't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. You'll find someone who's single.
Which one do I want? Hot and cold, maybe?
Sure.
All right. Just labeled this one Tinder, hot and cold. Okay.
Accurate.
I met a girl on Tinder last October, 4 months ago, and we instantly clicked. We had a few dates, so I started catching feelings for her, but I was never 100% sure if she was interested in me or not. One day she showed real interest, and the next day she acted like a stranger. Long story short, she ended it, but never gave me a reason why. Now it's been a few months and I still think about her all day long. I just can't let go and it hurts so much. She was the first one after a long time who I caught feelings for. It bugs me that I can't move on. I mean, we never even kissed. Why do I still have feelings for her? How do you guys get over someone you loved? Well, loved. I think this might have just been like lusted at this point.
Or you're infatuated.
Yeah,
that's what I think. I think sometimes when people start talking to someone, and if you're talking a lot in the beginning, you don't necessarily have feelings for them. Like, I'm sure maybe you do, but you also build up, like in the beginning when you don't know someone, you create this person that's perfect for you, and because you haven't seen everything yet.
Fun, new, exciting.
Yeah, it's fun, it's new, it's exciting. You're like, oh, they could be this. And obviously, like they turned out to not be that. But then it's hard to get over because it's like we were just getting started. So, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it totally is. And like,
you'll find someone that you get excited about again. And people who play it hot and cold are
annoying. This is annoying. I've heard so many Tinder stories from friends of mine that sound like this. Like, the girls are super into it and then like they just ghost.
You're better off. So I think you gotta just try to stop thinking about it. And
honestly, at this point, you just gotta like talk to other people.
I was gonna say, go on a couple other dates.
Jason's gonna fall off the couch. Hang out with friends, do other things, keep your mind busy, but
don't forget about her before you know it.
This one, she's not worth your time. And if she tries to come back as hot, you're cold.
No, unless she has like a legit excuse, like a family illness or something.
Yeah, and like a real one.
Okay, should we just do one more?
Yeah,
I feel like it's long already.
Sorry.
Okay. Dear Kristen and Steph, I'm hoping you can give me some advice. I'm 26 and I work in hospitality. I've always been very open about being gay. Focus. I've always been very open about being gay and never had a problem with people knowing.
Okay.
However, in recent years, my career has been growing rapidly at a girl. Go for it.
Climb.
Which makes it difficult to always be open about my sexuality.
Okay.
Currently, I work as a general manager of a 200 plus bedroom 4-star hotel. I have a team of 80 staff members originating from all over the world.
Yes. Crushing it.
Furthermore, my peers are all quite a bit older than I am and are from different, more conservative backgrounds than me.
Okay.
In short, I struggle to sometimes be open about who I am. I am in no way, shape, or form ashamed of my sexuality. However, I struggle to trust people will accept it, and I fear it could put my career in danger. As you can imagine, it causes quite a bit of uncomfortable situations. Any advice?
Yeah, that's tough.
Sucks. It's hard because we don't know where she's from, or we don't know like the laws, because I know that from a legal standpoint, like you can't be fired for sexuality
in Canada.
So I'm not sure that, because like obviously I want to be like,
tell them
screw
all.
them if they're uncomfortable. They can be uncomfortable and you just do you, but also I don't want you to destroy everything that you've worked really hard for, because it sounds like you're absolutely crushing the game, which good for you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think if it's something where it really could affect your career right now, and you don't need, like, are you married? Are you feeling like you can't talk about your wife or what, you know what I mean? I wish I could ask you questions to understand.
We gotta get them to call in so we can ask questions.
I know. I really want to just say, it's not your problem, it's their problem if they're uncomfortable, and just talk about whatever you want to talk about, as long as it's like, you know, in semi-professional manner. And also, like, you never know. I know you said they're from conservative backgrounds, but I've met a lot of people from some backgrounds that I kind of judge them, and I think this is what they're gonna think of me, and then they totally surprise me.
Right.
So it could be like, that would be best case scenario, I think. But I don't know, that's tough because
it's hard, because it sounds like you're super confident in who you are, and that like is an awesome quality. So I feel like it would be just really hard to be so kick-ass in like your career, and like you're very confident obviously in your personal life, but then like to have it not, have it not be able to feel as comfortable like crossing over, I guess, would be tough.
To kind of have to keep your personal life so separate from your career would be hard.
Yeah, I don't know, is it like because you want to bring a date to a work function? Like there are a bunch of things, but I think that you just have to know, as like lame as it sounds, like what's right for you in your situation, because like Chris said, like we don't want you losing your career obviously, but if it's a situation where you just don't trust people in the sense of, because like you don't know how they're going to react, that's a lot different.
Or even like it could prevent, like, because there's ways around laws too, which sucks, because even if people are shitty, they might not fire her, but they could also not consider her for promotion or different things like that. So I think
you have to like kind of feel out, I feel like maybe throw a couple hints for other people, like, I have a friend who's pretty gay. What do you think about that? No.
Or if you have a few coworkers who you think you could really trust, maybe that would make you feel better if you could at least share that part of you with a couple of people. I had something else to say and I forget what I was going to say about this. I mean, I'm also thinking about if you do come out and you kind of are a trailblazer, like a lot of times people who make the first moves and these kind of things, they kind of get a little bit screwed, but you also pave the way for people coming in. Like you could make a lot of really amazing changes if you do stand up and say, like, you know, this is me and this is who I am. And first of all, this is just so annoying to me that this is even a thing that people have to worry about. But I know it's real. I know it's very
and it's even a real thing in Canada, guys.
Yeah,
so like when everyone's like, you're so lucky to live in Canada, we are super, super lucky to live in Canada. But you know what?
Cities.
In like big cities and stuff, but it's still very real. And yeah, okay, like Chris said, they might not be able to fire you based on your sexual orientation or how you identify. However, there are loopholes and they can just like not promote you or fire you based on other things.
Or make you feel super uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Which nobody deserves
so
to be
then you
uncomfortable
quit,
for.
or you would prefer to quit than be there. It's not just everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
So it's like you said, it's tough that this is even a discussion because it's very real.
But anyway, I'm super proud of you for kicking it in your job, and also for feeling super confident and happy with yourself. So at least you have that, and
That's awesome.
I'm happy that you have that. So okay, I think that's it. That's all we're gonna do because it can only take a couple of those.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if you have any other stories, or if you did write us those and you want to send us any updates, we're always down for a good update. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys again soon.
Okay, bye guys. Love you, babe.
Love you.
Your touch, baby, you're so high. I don't mind a little crazy.
Are you gonna write me a Dear Lesbians email?
Anonymous.
What would be your issue if you did write anyone?
I don't think I have
Your
one.
girlfriend's too perfect and makes you
That
makes you feel inadequate.
That is honestly a real true thing.
We don't need to go on a fast. I need this night alone.